Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time visiting this channel, click on the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you will get notified as soon as possible. So this weekly market analysis happens to be my last weekly market analysis to be posted on my YouTube channel for the year 2022. Alright, yes, 2022 has been a roller coaster. Very interesting year. And so right after this weekly market analysis, I'm going to come your way again next year, February. That is when I'm going to resume. I'm actually going on a break. I've ended my trading year so far as 2022 is concerned. And so this is going to be my last weekly market analysis, which I'll be posting here on YouTube as I normally do. Alright, but I'll be a little bit active on my Telegram channel. Alright, yes, I'll be a little bit active on my Telegram channel. If I see any opportunity that is worth taking, I'll just post it on my Telegram channel for my Telegram community members to have a benefit of it. So if you're not part of my Telegram community yet, check the description box below. The link is there. Click on the link and be part of the Flax Trading Telegram community. So just as we normally do, we go through few pairs on my watch list and see what the market has for us going into a new week. So we normally start with the dollar index. So with the dollar index, last week I made you aware that you're going to see price moving to the downside. Alright, yes, and I hope Ronaldo is watching here, because this guy just came into my comment section trying to say a whole lot of things, that price was in discount, why am I selling and all that. All right, yes, you see, sometimes when you learn new things and then you quickly start applying them, you miss out on certain things, forgetting that it is not only those things that works, but it should conform with certain things before it can work as you're expecting it to work. So I believe Ronaldo is watching. Yes, so at the end of the day, you didn't sell. All right, you didn't sell because you thought price was in a discount, but price sold. All right, price sold because this area wasn't the reference point. All right, price is targeting this zone. That is what I think price is targeting. All right, yes, and so at the moment I'm still looking for bearish prices on the dollar index. All right, I'm looking for you to see price move into the zone before we see any change in the market, or if there should be any continuation that is going to happen. All right, but at the moment I'm still expecting to see the dollar index continue to push to the downside into the zone we are seeing here. All right, so that is just that for the dollar index. Let's look at what is happening on Gbpusd. So for Gbpusd, last week I made it aware that I'm still looking for what bullish prices. We're expecting to see price move a little bit back into this range, all right, of which it happened, and we've seen a push to the upside. And so going into next week, I will expect to see price retrace a little bit, all right, a little bit into the zone. Then we see price continue to push to the upside. My ultimate point of interest is this zone. All right, so that is what I'm expecting to see price push into. But let's move to the lower time frame and see if we can get precise movement going into next week. So this is what happened on the NFP. All right, we saw the NFP moving straight into Thursday's price range, and then right after that we saw price continue to push to the upside. And so going into next week, I'm not expecting to see price move back into this area. All right, we are likely to see this happening. All right, price move a little bit to this zone to make the low of the week, then we see price rallying to the upside. So that is going to be my expectation on Gbpusd. And so far as my expectation on Gbpusd is concerned, I'll be looking at how price is going to react on Sunday's open. All right, yes, so once market opens on Sunday, which happens to be the weekly opening price, once I'm bullish, I'll be looking forward to buy below that opening price for next week. All right, the last time I made someone aware, someone just came into my DM, and then we are having a conversation, and then the person was like, how do I take my long-term trades so far as the weekly is concerned? All right, so this is how I do it. If I'm bullish, or if I'm expecting bullish prices within the week, all right, just as I normally see, I mean, between Sunday and Wednesday, we are likely to see price what make the low of the week. And aside price making the low of the week, I will expect, or I'll be looking forward to to buy below the weekly opening price. All right, if I'm bearish, I'll be looking for it to sell above the weekly opening price. And this is the concept of the candlestick formation. This is how the candlestick formation works. All right, before we see price moving to the upside, we will see price move to the downside. All right, price will open, move to the downside before we see a move to the upside. Before we see price selling, price will open, move to the upside before we see price moving to the downside. That is basically why I always prefer to sell above the opening price if I'm bearish, and then to buy below the opening price if I am bullish. Yeah, so that is exactly what I do on a weekly basis. So that is just that. So for just as I said, for Gbpusd going into next week, I would expect to see a little bit about a retracement back into the zone. I don't expect to see price taking out it low. All right, I don't even expect to see price going anywhere near this. All right, but I would expect to see price move a little bit into the zone before we see a continuation to the upside, taking the high that was made on Thursday. All right, yes, taking out the high that was made on Thursday, then we see a push to the upside here. So that is my expectation on Gbpusd. Let's go what is happening on Eurusd. So for Eurusd, Gbpusd, same plan. All right, even for Eurusd, I think we've already seen price taking out. Okay, so yeah, so this was last week's high and last week's low. Yeah, so we've seen price taking out last week's high and last week's low, and so I'll take this to be my high of the week. All right, yes, this to be my high of the week. So entering into next week, that is going to be my previous high of the week. All right, entering into next week is going to be my previous high of the week. Yes, and this low we are seeing here was the low of the week. Yeah, the low of the week. So this low we are seeing here. All right, yeah, so entering into next week, once we enter into next week, this low is going to be my previous week low. All right, I always trade within this range. Like, this range always helps me to determine where the market is going to move at. All right, and so by delineating this range, I'm looking at where price is it in a discount zone or is it in a premium zone. All right, so I hold this concept. Once price is hasn't violated this range, or once price is within this range, once this range high or this range low is being violated, it invalidates this range. I don't take into consideration this range again. All right, I look for the immediate range to work within. And so for Eurusd, I'm still expecting to see price push to the upside. All right, I'm still expecting to see price push to the upside. And so going into next week, I want to see price push a little bit into the zone before we see a continuation to the upside. Yeah, so that is my expectation on Eurusd going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on Nasdaq here. So beautiful price action too on Nasdaq. We've already seen a shifting structure here. Price retrace a little bit into the zone, and then we saw an impulse move, making clearing out these buy stops. All right, making a shift in structure. And then on Friday we saw how price reacted within this zone. All right, it filled more than 50% of this impulse move. All right, it already filled more than 50%, of this impulse move. And so at this point, I will expect to see price continue to push to the upside, getting into this fair value gap and then into this other block as well. And so going into next week, I'll be looking for bullish prices on Nasdaq. All right, I'll be looking for bullish price on Nasdaq, and so we are likely to see price push a little bit into the zone before we see a continuation to the upside. All right, yeah, so that is going to be my expectation on Nasdaq going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on S&P 500. So Nasdaq, S&P 500, same plan. All right, you've seen price on Friday filling almost 50% of this more than 50% of this impulse move. All right, let me use my range measure to see. Yes, yeah, so more than 50%. Yeah, price has filled more than 50% of this range, just as you can see here. All right, so we've seen it a little bit below the 50% mark. And so going into next week, I'll also expect to see the S&P 500 shifting to the upside. Yes, I always expect the S&P 500 moving to the upside, taking out this high into the zone, and probably there is an imbalance we are seeing here. All right, there is a volume imbalance on S&P 500. All right, there's the volume imbalance on this S&P 500, and so I'll be expecting to see price reaching or filling in that volume imbalance. All right, I'll be expecting to see price filling in that volume imbalance. Yeah, so that is just that for S&P 500. All right, yes, so we see a little bit of a move, then we see a continuation to the upside. All right, yeah, so that is my expectation on the market going into next week. All right, that is my expectation on the market going into next week. Just as I told you, this is my last weekly market analysis for you guys here on YouTube so far as the year 2022 is concerned. All right, I'm going to be a little bit active in my Telegram channel, but not so active just as I normally do. So if you're not part of my Forex trading Telegram community, click on the link and then be part of the Forex trading Telegram community. If you haven't subscribed, to click on a link and be part of the Forex trading YouTube community. Trust me, next year is going to be mega. Next year is going to be interesting. You wouldn't want to miss it. That is why I'm asking you to join my Telegram channel. All right, yes, because it's going to be fireworks. You have no idea what is coming. You really have no idea what is coming next year. All right, yeah, so that is just that. All right, if you want to reach out to me privately, I will put my Telegram ID in the description box below as well. Just reach out to me if you want me to explain certain things to you. I mean, I'll be available during December. All right, I'll be very available in December as well as January too as well. So I'll come your way again next year, February. All right, yes, I'll come your way again next year, February. And so I wish you all Merry Christmas in advance and a Happy New Year in advance. All right, we are going into Christmas, and so you wouldn't want to be so much activity on the market. All right, let me tell you, the institutional traders are done with trading so far as 2022 is concerned. All right, yes, most of them are done. All right, yes, and I think the last batch of them are going to be, they will spend the next 2 weeks in December and then off they go. All right, yes, so I mean, I don't know what you'll be looking for the market on Christmas Day. All right, because even on Christmas Day, most traders will be trading. I mean, I don't know what you are looking for on the market. All right, yes, so you're not going to see so much significant move, so it's not really worth it staying in the market during December, like heading to the end of December, getting into January. All right, yeah, so that is just that. I'll come your way again, God willing, next year. All right, so we meet again. Be safe, and I wish you all the best.